Welcome back to What Drives You. Oh, got our lights going buggy here. Let's see what. Yeah. Huh. See if we can make a little adjustment here. Stand by for some technical adjustments here. Hold on. There we go. Look at that. Not bad. Oakley is not a sponsor of our show today. It is one of my favorite companies, and more to come on that. Thank you for coming back. It's been a minute. I've been traveling quite a bit, and I've been gone. It's been on the road at least. As I said in a couple earlier episodes, it is hard to come up with a topic, record. I'm trying to do this as simply as possible, so that makes it a little bit easier just live streaming by myself. But that gets a little boring, so the guests are key. So if you have somebody that you think would be a great person to talk to about what drives them and what you see in them that drives you, you want to be part of that conversation, you want to be a guest, a co-host, please drop me a comment here or reach out to us on the website, which hopefully is going to be done this week, maybe next week. But we have whatdrivesyou.co, not .com. But there will be an email address there that we can check in with you and just talk to you and get ideas from you. And, I'd like to give as many people an opportunity to contribute, because we all have people in our lives, in our homes, maybe even, that motivate us and drive us to do things and really inspire us. That's really what the key is here, right? So the good news is, even though I've been gone from you all for a minute, I have been keeping up on my other New Year's resolution, which is to get my hinder off the couch onto the treadmill. So thank you. Thank you, whoever, give me that motivation. So all that kind of relates to or ties back to what drives you to just do stuff, to make a change. Changing your behavior, changing your life can, for the most part, only come from you, right? You've got to be the initiator. One of our guests said early on, just start, just begin your whatever it is, your YouTube channel, your new job search, your new healthy eating, your new sleep patterns. There's just so many different things that can change your life quickly and for the better. So tonight we are going to be talking about something that may seem a little corny to some of you from a car guy, but I am a dad, I am a husband. So we're going to be talking about, as you see in the thumbnail, what does love have to do with driving me? What does love have to do with driving you? And so I, got some notes here, and really, and I think I said it in the description of the show tonight, is love is the greatest gift, right? It's just the greatest gift from, if you're blessed to have it, from the moment you're born, when those parents or those adoptive parents or those caregivers hold that little baby in their arms. It's just key to healthy living, healthy attitude, healthy growth. And we all need it, right? Love for me has driven me to put other people first in life, put me second or third or fourth or fifth in some instances, depending who's in the room. It's love has driven me to give back, and not keep things for myself. In recent years, I've been given some resources, some opportunities that I've never had in my life, other 53 years of my life. And so able to give, and we're going to talk more about that in another episode, giving, what drives me to give, what drives this guest to give. A dear friend of mine he works for a company called, or an organization called Compassion International. My friend Tim, has just been a great example of giving. So, but love is what really motivated me to start giving, to continue giving, and to encourage you to give, because it's just key, right? If you have extra, you can't take it with you to share with others. Um, you're when we think about what love has to do with goals and dreams and ideas and all that kind of stuff, you might think in your brain, well, it really has nothing to do with it, but it has everything to do with it. Um, Computer's trying to update here, but we need to give love. We need to get love. We need to have love. I mean, if you don't have love, um, it's it's very hard to have a happy and fulfilling life. I did a little studying, a little research on love, not a lot, but there's been over 100 million songs, every language across the world, um, that have the word love in it, or the theme of the song is about love. I mean, that's just crazy. 100 million songs. Almost every major religion practices some form of love, being the key to their religion, their faith, their practices. Um, we, without love, and this is very relevant to our current state of affairs and social media and all that. Without love in our heart and love in our words, which is noise, right? We hear a lot of hate speech, a lot of criticism, a lot of name calling. And I think a lot of times it's because we've forgotten about the power and the key of life, which is love. One of the keys to life. So, um, even if we have, for the wisest people in the world, um, or we're the strongest person in the world, the most competitive, the most successful person in the world, without love, doesn't mean a lot. And I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just trying to share my experience. And you probably all have someone in your life who's successful, wealthy, rich, powerful, and they are just miserable because they're either don't have love or don't get love. Both of those things are key, um, because and love leads to the joy and happiness and all these other things that make life livable. Um, Love is one of my famous quotes. Love is patient. Love is kind. It's not jealous. It doesn't boast. It's not proud or rude. All these things are very key to love. It's not selfish. It's not quick to anger. It doesn't keep track of mistakes. I have made more mistakes than you can count and can imagine. Love tells the truth. Um, it doesn't lie. It's not evil. It's supportive. It's loyal. It's hopeful. Um, and it just doesn't fail. Love is one of those things that just doesn't fail. And it's very hard to measure, right? You can't measure, oh, you love me a lot, you love me a little. Yeah. But love is just, it's a very, very powerful tool, or gift, I should say, not a tool. I guess it could be used as a tool, but um, more of a salve, right? Of a healing thing. You know those people, especially I can only relate it to my mom and my dad, from just a unconditional love. My bride as well too, although I think I get her a little frustrated sometimes. But that love, not like that I have for my kids, is just it's overwhelming, right? So that's a key part of what I think drives, for sure drives me, but drives so many of the positive and encouraging. Again, what we're trying to do here on this channel is encourage, educate, and entertain. Well, tonight is not really going to be an entertaining or educational, maybe, but hopefully it's some encouragement. If you don't have love, go find some love. There are people out there who are lonely. There are people out there who do love you, and if they don't love you, give out some love. Give all you got, because you're probably going to get some back. Um, it's pretty simple, right? You can choose to love. You can choose to hate. I think love is always going to have a return on it. Whereas hate, it just costs. It's toxic. It is draining. It is painful. And we've all had it, we've all experienced it, but I'll tell you what, if you can choose between the two, love is always going to win. So I, I was leery about talking about this subject, not because I'm embarrassed about it, or not because I'm a dude, and not because I am ashamed of saying I love you and showing love, but it's a not something. It's an assumed thing, right? And so don't assume that someone loves you. Tell them you love them. Hug them, not strangers, please. Those you actually do love, um, because you never know when you may not see that person again. You never know when that person who doesn't feel love today needs that word of encouragement, um, needs that hope, needs that motivation, just from somebody who uh, just is kind and is really authentic to them. So yeah, I don't know why that subject hit me hard tonight. I've watched a couple documentaries. I read a letter from one of the kids we sponsor, and even in it, and we've been sponsoring her for a while. Again, more about her in our giving topic and our giving interview. But she, in her end, she's translating because she's writing in French, and then it gets translated to English. Every time she signs up with "I love you," "I love your family," and all this, never met her in my life. She lives in Africa. But just that ending of her little notes, the little 13, 14-year-old brain can spit out is powerful. Everything else she talks about is good information, but just to say I love you, um, from a complete stranger. Yes, I've watched her grow up for a few years, but through letters and pictures and such. But just to hear her or see her write out "I love you" is cool. So I just wrote her back and said it. So maybe that's why this topic is on my heart today, and on my brain. Wanted to share it with you all because without love, it's just noise, a lot of noise. So hope that gives you a little word of encouragement tonight. We're going to try and get back on track here with some more collaborative co-hosting. I've got some people lined up that I think you're going to enjoy, and I think we'll do a little more entertaining, a little more educating than just the encouragement. But we all need encouragement, right? Sunday night, maybe not looking forward to tomorrow, the work week. Maybe you just come off a tough weekend of working if you've got that kind of schedule. I know a lot of my friends in retail have that schedule, but I love you. And someone out there also loves you, and you love somebody else. So please share that. And I know that's a key to what drives me, gets me off my out of my bed in the morning, gets me off the couch at night, and gets me to share the stuff on YouTube.